Hi friends, I'm Felicia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my January wrap up, and I had a great reading month. I read 8 books, and that's partly thanks to the hashtag TBR takedown. I am just really excited to talk to you about the books, so let's get started. Because I don't want to yammer so much that my battery will die. The first book that I finished in January I don't have anymore, and that was Bitter Blue by Kristen Kishore, and I actually talked about that in my December wrap up because I read the bulk of it in December. And then I just finished it in January, so I'm not going to talk about that one. I will link my December wrap up if you want to know my thoughts about that one. Rated that one 3.5 to 4 stars. I don't quite remember. My feelings right now, like a month after finishing it, are like 3.5, maybe even 3, but yeah, somewhere in there. Then the TBR takedown started, and I finished reading Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and this is the first book in the Red Rising trilogy, and I thought this was really good. My husband gave this to me for Christmas last year, and I finally started it in November, and then I did it like right at the end of November, and then I read most of it in December, and then I put it down for a few weeks around Christmas, so then I finished it like the first weekend in January. And I thought it was really good. It's kind of like a mix between The Hunger Games and Ender's Game, and that's why it says Ender, Katniss, and now Darrow. It very much had a Hunger Games feel to it, actually. Just the plot. I did not know much about the plot at all going into it. If you're not aware what this book is about, it's a sci-fi kind of futuristic story set on Mars. Their society is set up into different colors, and so the reds are the lowest of the rankings, and they are working underground, working for this whatever. There's a thing that they're mining, and I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's gonna help Mars be able to be colonized. For the main character, his name is Darrow, and he is 16 years old, but people die very young in their society. Like if you reach 40, then that would be like someone being 90 years old in our society. So Darrow is 16, which makes him like 30-ish for us. Some tragedy befalls him, and that sets him on a journey of wanting to overthrow their society. I thought this was it was crazy. I loved the world building in this book. I thought it was amazing. I really enjoyed the plot. It was kind of grittier than I thought it would be, but it also wasn't like as bad as it could have been. So I appreciated that, and I thought that this was just a really intense sci-fi. Like, intense is probably the best word that I can use to describe it. So I really enjoy this. I am looking forward to reading Golden Sun, and then Morning Stars coming out like in the next couple weeks, and so hopefully I'll be getting that soon once I finish Golden Sun. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. Hey Rob, can I have this? Okay. The next book that I finished for the TBR takedown was Soppy by Philippa Rice. This is the most adorable book that you could ever read in your whole life. I was just smiling the whole time because I just loved it. It was so cute. You've probably seen her illustrations around on Tumblr. They look like this. Yeah, and so my husband was amazing, and he tracked this down for me for Christmas, and we actually read it together. We read it in 10 minutes before bed together, and it's just so cute. I just love it. I'm probably going to read it again soon because it's just adorable, and it just made me smile the whole time. It's just like a celebration of the little moments in a relationship that make you feel close to each other, I guess. But yeah, it's just very sweet, and if you can find it, I would highly recommend that you pick it up and read it. It's just so cute. I gave 5 stars because it made me smile so dang much. The next book that I finished for the readathon was Romeo and Juliet. And I did not actually read it from this copy because it smells weird. So, if you can believe it, I never read Romeo and Juliet in school. The school that I went to around the time when most people are reading Romeo and Juliet, we did not read Shakespeare in that school. And then when I did go to a school where we read Shakespeare, we were past Romeo and Juliet. So yeah, this was my first time reading Romeo and Juliet. Obviously, I was very familiar with the story. I will admit, I went into it being very cynical because I think their relationship is ridiculous, and I still think it's ridiculous. But I realized about halfway through that I should probably just change my attitude and just accept it for what it is, and that helped me to like the story a bit more. Yeah, I got into it more towards the end. I'm not gonna hold the book up anymore. There's nothing for you to look at on it. But yeah, I don't know, I ended up kind of enjoying it. Romeo and Juliet are just the most ridiculous things ever, and do not follow their relationship for any kind of relationship advice. I gave 3 stars if you were wanting to know. The next book that I read for the takedown, did I finish it during the takedown? I don't even remember, but I think I did. And that was Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I just wanted to make sure I got the order right. Not like it matters. Anyways, so I picked up this book with one of the gift cards that I got for Christmas. I was super pumped to be able to get this book, and so I devoured it. I read it in 2 sittings, basically, and wow, this book is a crazy ride. This is a crazy ride. Blah. If you're not aware what Illuminae is about, it's a sci-fi story as well. I was just super into sci-fi this month, apparently. There is a colony on a planet that gets attacked, and so they get rescued, and the attackers are still pursuing the rescue ships, and so it's kind of documenting them trying to escape the attackers. But there's just so much more to the story. There's also this conflict that's happening on the ships. It's just super intense. And I'm going to tell you, because everyone has to tell you, format of it is set up like a case file, like an investigation dossier, I guess. And so it's like printouts of emails and transcriptions of interviews and other documents and stuff, and journal entries and all of this stuff. Someone's transcribing video footage in here, and like, you would think that it would just be hard to follow, but it was super easy to follow. It was super enjoyable. Because of the style, like there are some pages like this, and this is a repeating page. Like there's a lot of pages that just are easy to fly through because they don't have a lot of text on them. And so even though this book is 600 pages, it reads like maybe a 300-page book because you're just flying through it. And I just really enjoyed this one. I love sci-fi, and so I thought this was a really great young adult sci-fi book. And it had way more depth than I would expect from a story that's like not even from the character's point of view. But yeah, there was lots of character depth and development, and I really like that. So I thought this book was just fantastic, and I cannot wait for the next book in the series. Like, I can't believe I have to wait like till November. Jeez. My battery died, so I might be in a different position. So the next book that I read was The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, and this was a book that I read with the Reads with Friends Goodreads group, which the link is down below in the description. So this is the first book in a sci-fi series featuring aliens, an alien invasion. I quite enjoyed it. I read the first half and then I listened to the last half on audio, and the audiobook was quite good. Reading it was also quite good. I don't have lots to say. Like, I thought it was a pretty unique book. I liked the main character, Cassie. I thought that she was kind of unique, I guess, for a young adult protagonist, because like she would think about things in a really realistic way, I think. She would see something and she'd be freaking out and freaking out and freaking out. And then she'd be like, okay, well, I have to do something about this. It's not going to change if I just keep freaking out. And then she like goes and deals with it instead of just being like gung-ho going after the dangerous situation, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed that. I thought it was refreshing. Like, she's very sarcastic, which I'm very sarcastic, so I can relate to that. I did not like the romance in this book at all. Yeah, I just thought it was weird. That's just me. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to like it or not. You're probably supposed to like it, and I didn't, but whatever. But yeah, I really liked this. I am halfway through the audiobook for The Infinite Sea, which is the second book in this series, and I'm like just totally not into that audiobook at all. So I think I might put it down for now, and then, well, I think it's actually like probably due through Overdrive already. So I'm just going to stop that and see if I can pick up the physical copy because I'm not really enjoying the audiobook much. So I will continue on with the series. I'm not really in a rush, but yeah. So I guess I can kind of see now why people are kind of pooping on The Infinite Sea, I guess, because I'm just not into it. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. But yeah, the first book is good, and we'll see how the series ends. And the last book is coming out in May, so yeah. Then the next book that I read was, this is probably my favorite book. This is probably my favorite book of the month. I can't tell you how much I loved this book. And that is Home from the Vinyl Cafe by Stuart McLean. And if you are Canadian, you might know about Stuart McLean. He is a storyteller and an author. And he has a radio show on CBC every Saturday. So he tells stories about this family, this couple, Dave and Morley, and their family and their friends. And Dave owns a record store, which is also called the Vinyl Cafe. And it's so delightful. Like, it just makes you happy. Like, I was so happy the whole time that I was reading this book. Like, I feel like I know Dave and Morley. Like, I feel like they're people that I have hung out with. Like, I hung out with them. But, like, in real life. And I really just love them so much. And I would like to hang out with them in real life. So this is just a collection of short stories of events from their life and their experiences as a family. And Dave is just the most unfortunate person that you will ever have the experience of knowing. And there was a story in here. I was lying on my couch and I was crying because I was laughing so hard. My husband was very concerned when I was laughing so hard that I started choking because my throat was so dry because I was laughing so much. It was just ridiculous. Like, I just could not. Oh my word. I was just a friggin' mess because it was just so funny. And yeah, so these stories are just so funny and they're so heartwarming. And yeah, I'm gonna talk more about this in another video, so just keep your eyes out for that one. But yeah, like, I gave this 5 stars, and I want to read everything else that Stuart McLean has out in the Vinyl Cafe series. Like, I really just want to read them all. This is technically number 2 in the series, but you don't need to read them in order at all. Does not matter at all. Cheers. The last book that I read this month was Doctor Who Time Lord Fairy Tales. Oh my gosh. I love this book. This was another one of my Christmas presents from my husband. So I read 2 of your books, honey. That's very good. Plus I read one that you gave me last year. So thank you. I was so excited when I saw this. Oh my goodness. Like, this book, like, can you see how beautiful it is? Like, it's just beautiful. Here, focus on the book, not me. Like, oh, I love it. It's got like gold leaf on it, and there's illustrations in here. Let's see if I can find my favorite one. Okay. Can you guess which doctor that is? Which story this is? Like, wow. So this is a collection of fairy tales that we all know. and they are written from the perspective of like a Time Lord, like stories that Time Lords would tell their kids. It was just so good. Yeah, I really enjoyed the stories I read. Well, I was kind of supposed to read a story a day. I was buddy reading it with Samantha from Novels and Nonsense and Amy from Amy C Books, and we just had such a fun time reading this book because we all just love Doctor Who so much, and we all got the book for Christmas. So yeah, we just had so much fun. Some of these stories I liked better than others. Some of the stories I had no idea what fairy tale they were actually supposed to be. So I'm like, are these like original stories? But the rest of them I could figure out what the hiccups, sorry, what the classic story was. Yeah, I think my favorite stories were The Garden of Statues, Cinderella and the Magic Box, Helena and the Beast, and The Grief Collector. Those were my favorites. I think there was like another one that I wrote down, but whatever. Yeah, so if you were a Doctor Who fan, what are you doing with your life? Go buy this now. You will love it. So, oh, I'm gonna put it beside the TARDIS. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, the little TARDIS and the TARDIS. So, that's all the books that I read in January. I would love to know what some of the books that you read in January were, what your favorite book was, if you have read any of these. Did you have to read Romeo and Juliet in school? Am I the only person that didn't? Please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I just appreciate all of your comments and your interactions with me. I just love it so much. And so thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon in the next video. Bye.